Our trauma is a gift, even though it doesn't feel like it at first. This concept reminds me of a Rumi quote, one of my favorite mystics. He says, "What hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle." Now that seems completely backwards and upside down, especially in our modern age where so many of us are just trying to be comfortable, just trying to seek pleasure at all times. And it's kind of crazy how easy it is to live these days. We can have our water piped in, our heat piped in, our food brought to us, all the entertainment brought in on our phones and TVs. We can order alcohol to our house. All the things are available at our fingertips, and we don't have to leave the house. We don't have to contribute really to anything greater than ourselves. And of course, this leads to a meaningless life that is so boring and stale that it should prompt you to move on and actually try and add to something bigger than yourself, which is why you feel depressed and sad and makes you move your feet. And of course, naturally, there are seasons of up and down where we should take breaks, we should cocoon, and like one of the other videos, The Dark Night of the Soul, there's a time and a place to go within and isolate. You just don't want to get stuck there. And so part of getting unstuck and becoming your self-actualized potential is unpacking your shadows, unpacking the trauma. We all have a birth trauma. Regardless of how perfect your life is, everybody is born and separated from source. And this creates a trauma. When we go from the oneness that we are in our essence to our separateness, it can be traumatic, it can be painful, and it's supposed to be. It's kind of part of the human experience. All of this stuff is built into the game. We're supposed to be separate and programmed and traumatized. And then through that, we learn how to grow out of it, how to build. Strength comes from the struggle. There were so many years in my life where I was struggling so hard, asking why it had to be this way. And then looking back on where I'm at now, realizing all the growth and expansion and potential I had because of the situations where I had to struggle, I had to suffer, I had to be in pain. So it's really about alchemizing whatever happens to you. And it's gonna keep happening. That's life. Of course, we get better at dealing with it, and we grow, and our frequency raises as we go. And this allows us to deal with these things and move on easier. I can remember a situation in my life that really had me deep in a hole. I'm an artist, I like to paint, and I brought my paintings to a shop, talked to the owner, said, hey, let me put these paintings on display. If I sell them, I'll give you part of the commission, I'll give you some money. Whatever it was, 10% of the painting you can have in return for displaying this. And so yeah, we agreed. Didn't have anything in writing. No contracts were involved. Learned that the hard way. Anyways, so I came back a couple months later, never heard from the guy, never heard anything, went into the store, and none of my paintings were on the wall. I talked to him. He's like, yeah, I sold your paintings and I'm not giving you any money. I was just, what? I was floored. I actually had to go to the cops, told them what happened. This guy stole my paintings. They showed up to the store. He had a couple in the back, but he actually sold the rest. And yeah, never got the money. I guess I could have taken him to civil court. I was in college at the time, didn't have a lot of money, and it just kind of seemed hopeless, pointless. I was so mad. I remember thinking of all these ways to enact revenge on this guy in his shop and how unfair it was. And the kernel, the gift that I really learned from this experience was that I have infinite art inside me. Yeah, it's gonna take some time and some money, but eventually I repainted a lot of those paintings, and then years later I sold them for 10 times the amount that I was trying to sell them for at the time. Maybe not 10 times, about 5 times more than what I was trying to get. So my return took years later, but eventually it came back around, and I learned this valuable gift of I'm infinite as a creator. I can keep on producing art, and this applies to anybody in any field. If you're in anything, if you're a musician and somebody steals your music, you can keep making music. If you're in a business, somebody rips you off in business, there's a whole world out there. There's a lot of people that'll be interested in your business. Elska, what are you doing? You wanna say hi? Come on. Come here, Elska. Say hi. Come here. Up. Elska, up. Elska, come here. There's Elska. Say hi. Good girl. So, I guess to wrap up this video, what hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. Don't be afraid to get uncomfortable and dive into the shadows, inside of your shadows, inside of all the things that you don't want to see or think of are the roots of your gifts. These are the seeds. All the seeds that you want to grow and you have the potential to grow out of actually come from your darkness. Because this life, without any friction, there's no growth. Without any contrast, that's part of the duality. It's holding the tension of duality and the non-dual and playing in both. That's all I got for now. If this resonates and you want to talk further, you can reach out. I do one-on-one coaching. jordanjdragon.com or whatever the website is, and have a great day.